What? Yes, I only have one look. So? What's up, guys? Welcome back. Man, I've been getting all these requests because I keep mentioning it and teasing it. A product here, a product there. And today we're finally going to be doing a full face of makeup that I literally keep forgetting about. Stuff that does not get enough airtime on my channel. So it might be stuff you forgot about, stuff that people don't talk about that often, or that it's a product that's been around for long enough that it's widely considered to be good, but that people don't really like review it anymore. So I have things from all of those categories. I kind of went through every drawer in my stash and I was like, that, that, you know what I mean? And kind of just went on the instinct. And I haven't done this face of makeup together yet. So it's gonna be a first impression of the combination for all of us, and we'll see how it goes. You might get to see a little bit of your favorite troubleshooting today. A lot of people love when I troubleshoot things that aren't working, so maybe that will happen today. But yeah, I'm gonna move you guys in, and it's just gonna be a fun chat through of all of these products, why I either love them or want more time with them, or maybe you'll get to see me make final decisions on some of them in real time. Let's go ahead and jump in. It's bright today. It's really bright. I think we can take that down a notch. Oh no, I still have blue on me. I blew myself. So that's kind of spoiling a future video. I bought these things. Sarah Crayon, my friend, sent me a TikTok, and it was this girl who basically mixed a bunch of these things together to do her entire face of makeup. You guys know I'm a color theory nerd, and so I loved the idea of it, but it did sound a lot like Salt New York to me, where I was like, oh, you can adjust here, adjust there. It's a milky, creamy product that kind of can be put anywhere. This is so different from Salt New York. It is so different from Salt New York. I like can't even express how far to the other end of the use case spectrum it is from Salt New York, but it is incredibly interesting, and I'm still getting my thoughts together on it. And as you can see, one of the biggest things that I would note about it is how long wearing it is, and I am not accustomed to rubbing my eyes because I typically don't use mascara or like eyeliner or anything that requires that. So still a little bit blue. I did a really cool kind of like graphic blue eyeliner look earlier today. Yeah, apparently it requires just a little bit more work to get out of my eyelashes, but that's a future video, and it's gonna be a full review, not just of like, hey guys, let's play with color, but also, who is this for? What are the best use cases, if any, kind of thing. So that's coming. And there's a glimpse at some blue that I mixed. So the first thing that I'm gonna put on my face, finally, hello? Hey, yeah, finally. I'm going to apply this to my face on camera. I don't think I've ever applied this to my face on camera. I just talked about how much I like it. It is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. This is eons old. I don't even know. I think it's years and years old. They sent this to me when they put me on Bare Minerals, put me on their PR list. They sent this to me when they released a mini of it, and so I got a full size and a mini of it, and you know, very lucky because it's not a new product. And then they recently just sent me their bronzers. We might pull those out in this video too, but yeah, I was like really grateful that I got to experience a product that is a little bit of a legacy product. Typically brands only send out like their newest stuff, and Bare Minerals is not exactly known for like cranking out brand new stuff all the time. So some people have told me that this pills on them. It is a physical sunscreen. Obviously, I'm wearing another physical sunscreen with this. Currently on my face, before my makeup right now, I have the Sea Drops from St. Jane. They came in that awesome Good Vibes beauty box that I got from Aether. Aether gifted it to me because Tyla, I'm pretty sure, like organized the whole thing, and it benefits the Surfrider Foundation. And in that box were the Sea Drops from St. Jane, and they are cool. They're really oily in a good way. Like it's almost like a face oil instead of a serum. And so my skin is plenty balmy already. I still want to turn these lights down. Is that okay? I'm not sure. Either way, hopefully you can see what I'm doing because I need to be able to see what I'm doing too. But anyway, yeah, that came in there. And then I also have the Josie Maran. It's called the Get Even Sun Milk SPF 33. And I love it. I've been using it now that it's a little bit nicer outside, not so dry. I've been using it in lieu of moisturizer because I find that if I put moisturizer on and that, my skin is just like entirely too slippy. So it's been a really nice combo. So that was, I mean, I would say a pea-and-a-half sized squirt. Science! And I actually don't even really, know the claims on this. I mean, being Complexion Rescue, I'm guessing that it has nice ingredients that are good for your skin, but mainly it actually locks on and feels like a good long wearing makeup. Like it has a really good dried down kind of tacky texture to it that doesn't feel like it's gonna just like come right off on your hands, but it's low coverage, absolutely beautiful, like such a pretty glycerin-y looking texture on my skin that just looks beaming, right? Just so lit from within. I'm so sorry to the people who have told me that this doesn't work for you. I know I give it this like unconditional rave review to it all the time, and that's because I've never had a problem with it. But if there's anything that I've learned from watching, I don't know, for example, Tati, or from myself moving across the country, it's that your environment really matters, and sometimes it's not your fault. It's not something you're doing that makes a makeup misbehave or something like that. So something that I am ashamed to say it never gets enough airtime for me is the Salt New York. Like especially the Sneaky Balm. I lean pretty hard on the contour a lot of times and I go like in and out of love with other ones, but the Sneaky Balm is such an exceptional product. As I put this on, I'll kind of give you guys my sob story, but it's the same thing that Hannah was talking about when she packed it for her cross-country move recently, like this month. I am so sorry, I need more light. Basically, she said that in theory, it made sense to her to use all the Salt New York products to do her makeup every day. But that she talked about how there was like this weird intimidation in her mind of like, oh, do I really want to pull that whole thing out? And I get it, like it's so weird. Like this is not inconvenient. This is maybe the most convenient way to contain your makeup. It's literally having everything open at once, but for some reason I have this like mental block about like, oh, do I really want to pull that whole palette out when I do it for eyeshadow all the time? Like there really should not be any block like that, but I totally understood what she was talking about. I was like, I'm like that too. I overlook my Salt New York palette because it doesn't look like everything else. And I want to stop doing that. The Sneaky Balm is so pretty. Look at it. And I'm applying it with this BK by Angie Hot and Flashy brush. This is the A506. I think like all my friends got sent this collection all at once. Rave reviews from everybody. And this collection in particular has just got some of the most finesse little shapes of the brushes. And this one right here is just so awesome for pinpoint concealing. You know, just getting concealer right where you want it. And it kind of makes sense because I know that in the early, not the early years, but at least the early years of Kiki doing makeup professionally in Austin, Lisa J was a big, who is the owner of BK, was a big like mentor for her, you know, like she helped her, I guess, make contacts and stuff in Austin. And of course, you know, they're both very good at doing makeup. They're both very nice people. So it would make sense that the BK brushes would work really nicely for the type of makeup that Kiki does, which is this very like blended skin-like, you know, natural looking makeup. And the Sneaky Balm. It's the best name ever, especially if you know Kiki. It's like, of course she called it Sneaky Balm. She's gonna call something exactly what it is with like a funny twist. You know, she's always got humor in everything that she does, and I just love that there's like a little bit of humor in that name. But that doesn't look like I'm wearing makeup, you know? Here, I'll turn this back down. I needed to be able to see my blending. I'm so sorry to like break the fourth wall on like my lighting and everything, but y'all know I don't see perfectly well. And there's just a ring light right in front of me, but then there's a window, but then there's two lights right here, and I'm constantly like trying to find the best setting for you to be able to see detail, but also for me to be able to see what I'm doing, because I do get the comment when I like fail to blend a spot or something. Everybody and their dog will just roll up in my comments and be like, that one spot, I couldn't hear anything you were saying because you never blended that spot, and I just couldn't stop paying attention to it. And I'm just like, I had to edit it. I had to stare at it the whole time knowing that I never notice it and I'm never gonna fix it. Yeah, it's frustrating. So I get it. So that's why there is, you know, there are these extra measures taken. Really try to prevent those things. That's one of like the most frustrating things for any beauty creator is that you get all the way done with something and you're like, oh no, I've done something distracting. I've seen people blur out their cleavage. One time I bumped my head on a fake rhinoceros and I ended up bleeding through the entire video. I was on such a tight schedule making videos and like getting them out on time and putting this like insane pressure on myself that I refused to throw the video out. I just tracked it and like blurred blood running down my forehead the whole time. Someone needs to go back in time and tell millennial girl boss Khaki that she doesn't need to millennial girl boss that hard. I have been kind of in the back of my mind thinking while I was talking whether I want to do bronzer or contour first. I'm gonna go with bronzer because this is like the one that I'm like, do I still love this? We're about to find out. Because this is not a difficult products video. This is something where I'm like, I feel like I don't give enough airtime to these things, but is there a reason that I don't give enough airtime to the new Rhea from Thrive? Because they released a whole bunch of shades in their bronzer, and the Rhea one is like slightly different. Not that it really matters, like if you have the old Rhea and it works for you, don't fret, my pet, it's really not a big deal. But I don't use this and I can't remember why. I know it will tend to stamp a little bit, but I want to say that like it's worth it because the color is great. And with Thrive, they are near and dear to my heart, so it's hard for me to be unbiased, but I will say, even though their powders can be a little bit finicky, it's because they're waterproof. And you have to be a little bit more careful putting it on, their eyeshadows, anything, but it's because it's super long wearing. There's something that I'm realizing quite a bit, especially discussing these things with you guys in the comments. Lately, the comments are always good, but lately the comments have been incredible. You guys are just so freaking helpful. Like, it feels like a true community of friends because people chime in the comments and I learn so much. I don't know, it's incredible. I'm so grateful. I'm just like extra just overwhelmed with gratitude lately. Either way, the thing lately that I have noticed is people talking about the differences in brushes and how the right tools help. And I've always said that the right tools help, but I have never really thought that like animal hair brushes performed differently. I thought that kind of we had covered the distance on vegan brushes and that it was, you know, but even Hindash was like the first one to tell me recently, he's like, my stuff works a little bit differently, picks up more of the pigment if you use an animal hair brush. And I was like, I haven't even thought about an animal hair brush in a long time. I know that my Wayne Goss ones are animal hair, but they're also cruelty-free somehow. And then I don't know how these things work. Again, educate me. Educate me in the comments, but it could easily be a case of me not really loving this before because I was using the wrong brush with it, you know? But this is the BK 102, and it is just, as you can tell, delightful because I'm having a really nice time putting this on. See, it's want to stamp just a little, but that's okay. And the beauty of the sneaky bomb is she's so sneaky. You can just go in there and tippy tap. By the way, tippy tap is what we say about my son when he dances. He takes his, good catch, mom. He takes his little feet whenever there's like a good beat and he just starts tippy tapping. It really gets you going. It's the greatest thing in the world. All right. Let me show you guys what I pulled as far as these things are concerned. And then we will actually decide which ones I'm going to put on my face. And by we, I mean me. The reason, hello, that I even want to talk about everything that I pulled, even though I'm not going to use it all, is just because the whole point of this video is things that I don't give enough attention to, and I want to, even if there's not room on my face to apply them today. So first of all, these are the Daniel Sandler watercolor liquid cheek colors, and they're so pretty. They behave almost like an airbrush formula, you know, that you would load into like a makeup airbrush. They're like water. And then he also makes these gel colors that someone did ask me, and that's why I even like have this right here front and center. They asked me if there was a dupe for the color Croisette from Laura Mercier. I think that Berry for formula and for color is the best dupe that I have found. And that's from Daniel Sandler. This is in his watercolor gel cheek colors. And if you ever want to give your money to somebody who's just a really, 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 really nice person, Daniel Sandler also happens to be, besides being a great makeup artist and a purveyor of lovely formulas, also happens to be an incredibly nice person. So there's always something to be said for that. I also pulled this out. This is the Curewise. I turned a bunch of people onto this by accident and then I just kind of forgot it existed. But this is called Inner Glow and it is the funkiest color. It's so gorgeous. It's kind of like I stumbled into a nude blush without even realizing it, you know? Oh God, but I just touched the edge of the pan with my finger, like the metal of the pan. I'm trying not to have my soul leave my body. Like that gave me such bad goosebumps. I'm gonna start with this and just see what happens. And then I also pulled out the bronzers. IDK. If anything, I'll pull out Kiss of Pink because it's gonna be like the most subtle, but we're gonna be going in on the eyes. So I don't wanna just like look like a clown basically. You know, color everywhere. Big splotches of color everywhere. All right, so here we go with Inner Glow. Like, what is that? Is it a bronzer? Is it a blush? Is it a contour? Is it an eyeshadow? The world may never know. But the guts involved to put a color out like that on Curewise's part, like, and call it a cream blush, I gotta give him snaps. Like, what is it? Who knows? It's freaking weird, and I've never seen anything like it, and I like it a lot. Like, sure, we need pink. We do, we need pink. But let's do my eyes first, and then we'll decide on a color on my blush. But like, what kind of sorcery just happened on my cheeks? That should be its own product and come out in like skin tone shade values, not be called like a one-off cream blush, because like it looks like a mixing medium of some persuasion, and everyone should have a shade that's that close to their own skin's shade, you know, that kind of gives it this weird color identity, because I can't explain it. I love when I can't explain a color. It's like a washed out taupe blush, but it's also a little bit shimmery. It's freaking weird. All right, something I've been dying to use on camera is this. This is the Pewdiepie James Malloy Deluxe Eyeshadow Quad. This is in 2. He put 3 of them out. I did a sponsored video for Pewdiepie during the release for the number 3 palette, which is gold. Number 1 is silver, and this one is rose gold. And I bought the silver one and the rose gold one with my own bucks because I was so impressed with this formula. It kind of reminds me of the Byredo formula. It's so intensely creamy and gorgeous and glowy. If you guys don't follow Holly Beth makeup, she blew my mind with this palette. She did some really, really beautiful stuff with it. And also, I didn't really have a lot of familiarity with who James Malloy actually was. And after this release, I started following him, and we have all the same favorite makeup. Like, he uses stuff all the time, and I'm just like, I have that. Well, first of all, I guess you could say like I have most things, but at the same time, I do feel like he does really, really beautiful makeup looks that I feel like I could mimic, because I have exactly the same products that he does in so many cases. So all that to say, this is absolutely gorgeous, and let's put it on my eyeballs. Let's do it right now. A lot of people have been asking about like whether I have a favorite eye primer, and it's not for lack of trying, but I don't really do a lot of eye primers. I like the Thrive one okay. It definitely makes things last a really long time. If you've got oily eyelids, it's gonna do the trick for you. I don't really suffer from that, and so it's not something that I feel like makes a whole lot of sense for me. It's like I don't really notice the difference that much. And then Milk Makeup sent me theirs, and I don't get it. I don't get it. It's really funky. It's like very silicone-y, but also slightly slimy. And it never, at least in my experience, it doesn't really dry down. Like, I'm not sure if I put it on top of the wrong thing or what, but like, I felt like as soon as I touched it with my brush, I needed to go wipe my brush off because I was gonna hard pan my eyeshadow. Like, it was that wet. There's a difference between dewy and just wet. It just felt like something wasn't operating the way it was supposed to. And that there is still that video coming, where I'm gonna do like a best and worst, like a what's worth it and what's not from Milk Makeup. This is so easy. So I'm just using the lightest shade, well, not the lightest shade, the lighter of the 2 mattes there. Nice little, you know, neutral to warm, neutral tan. And I'm using a BK206. it's kind of flat. And I like that I could kind of be a little more precise. Apparently since I've been watching some other beauty creators lately, apparently I am not alone in the, as I get older, my eye has like a spot on it that just sheds product. So I find that like this is a really good shape to like get in there. But these are particularly sticky shadows. I usually use the word sticky as like the opposite of blendable, but they're both. Like they blend like crazy, but they really, really want to stick on your skin, which is nice. Okay, so these are phenomenal swatches, as always, of the two shimmery satiny colors. We have a pink and then we have like a deep burgundy rose. I've gotten complaints here and there, you know, lately that my eyeshadow looks always follow the same format. Like they're always the same shape. And then I just use eyeshadow, like different eyeshadows to achieve the same shape a lot of the time. And that's because I'm not that good at makeup, but also I kind of know what works and I stick with what works. There are some people who don't ever review like foundation products. You know what I mean? Like there are people who there's like just fixed parts of their routine. Like I almost never switch up my mascara, for example. But I've also appreciated the kind of counterpoint comments where people say, I always see you do very similar shapes on your eyes, but it helps me to have that constant between your videos because then I can compare formula to formula as I see you apply different things the same way in every video. And I was like, well, that lets me off the hook. Thank you. So I think I've worn this in a video, but I think that I've not applied it in a video for you guys. That is Dystopian Cowgirl Fortune Teller Burgundy. Like it's just this, not burgundy, shimmery berry, but it does have that same just like yumminess, that same like emollient quality to it that you get from those Byredo shadows. You guys, I have been doing the unthinkable lately. I'm revisiting so many brands that I have kind of written off in the past lately. Again, in an effort to kind of open my mind. There have been a lot of brands that I thought kind of weren't for me for one reason or another. And I'm finding that either the brands have evolved or they've at least evolved from the standpoint of my curiosity. Like they've released new products that I'm curious about. And I am going to be doing videos coming up that are just revisiting a lot of stuff that you haven't seen on my channel in a while, or that if you did see it on my channel, you remember that like it left a either tepid or bad taste in my mouth. For example, today I made an order from Jones Road Beauty. And no, I did not order another pot of the Miracle Balm because I am not in the business of buying something I know I'm going to throw away. That's wasteful. I'm not here to like reprove to the haters that I don't like that product. It's not up to me to be like, oh, this is a bad product. I'm never telling you something's a bad product. I am here to tell you that it isn't worth my money because I've already tested it and it's a gooey, weird mess and I don't like it. Now, if you were to tell me that she had reformulated it, you know, I would be all ears, but I don't think that's the case. Love these little hot and flashy brushes. Love them. This one's not the teeny tiniest one. This is the A502, but there is one that's even smaller than this that's the same shape. And I just think it's great. I bought that. I also made an order from Rituel de Fille. I love how Rituel de Fille still manages to keep their small business boots on the ground. Boots on the ground? Feet on the ground. Those are two completely different expressions. They keep their feet firmly planted on the ground. They stay grounded in the sense that, man, they're like, we're trying out making a complexion product and we're pretty sure that this is what we're going to be releasing. So we're going to sell the lab samples. And so they're like, this is a limited amount, and not in some kind of like come stand in line for your iPhone kind of way. They're not like, you know, trying to make some kind of PR deal about like, get it while you can, you know? I was able to just log on to the website. Again, one of y'all messaged me, sent me the post and said, look, I'm still interested in this brand. And I was like, awesome. I will do it. I will buy it. I would love to know, and I didn't just get that. No. I can't resist. I can't resist free shipping, guys. So, you know, I don't know what I did, but I think I probably spent like $200 at Rituel de Fille for a video. So that's coming also. I'm trying to think. I know there are more. I know there are, but For the time being, that's what comes to mind. I'm grabbing a little bit more of that tan color. Again, drama. Also, covering my veins. I feel like they're very distracting looking. It's probably something only I notice, but the thinness of that skin, I do feel like I want to add opacity on top of it to camouflage. I need something small. Something small. I'm in a real weird mood. My husband, hey, neat. This is a BK 207 travel size. My husband had to go into the city today. Yeah, I'm just like working in an empty house right now, which is not something I do. And I'm actually, it's way stranger than I thought it would get. It's way stranger than I thought it was going to be. I genuinely do feel like a person alone in a room talking to a camera. Oh yeah, this is one of those things that looks like I have been socked in both eyes, but like all you need to do when you get there is finesse the details. So it's about like eyeliner and mascara and like pulling the focus back out. So I'm gonna take some of the dark shade, the brown, and I'm gonna work that out here, start to kind of rebuild a little bit of shadow so I don't look like, do you see the difference there? Like, I drew a circle around my eye. This looks a little bit more finessed. I don't know, it's almost like obscuring the weird shimmer that was sitting on the contour of my eye right there. Blur. Blur is the theme. I'm using that shimmery light pink. It just begs to be put right there. You know, when Holly does her makeup, Holly Beth does her makeup, she is able to leave so much negative space because she has this like really phenomenal consistency of freckles. So it's like when her skin shows through, it's very evident that it's her skin showing through. It doesn't look like a mistake. And I'm not saying my skin is a mistake. I'm saying when my skin shows through my makeup sometimes, like on my eyes, I do feel like it looks like I just didn't put enough on. I think that's why I get a little bit hung up and like keep covering it up. See, like I feel like it's distracting. Speaking of distracting, we need to contain this. Clean up a bit. And I haven't powdered or anything, so let's grab some cosas. When I punch my brush into this to do this cleanup work, I'm picking up a ton of product, for me, relatively speaking. I just want you guys to know, because you don't really see me do it, like I am actually really, really digging my brush in there. And that's why I think a lot of these other powders that have been coming out lately, I'm just not my taste, because like, for example, the Say one, it's like if I dig my brush in that much into that loose powder, it'll just leave a big yellow stamp on my face. The Sneaky Balm behaves like skincare. It's so beautiful. Like it never like cracks up and breaks up on me. It's so pretty. It's a very, like it seems like it would be a very, very simple thing to formulate. You know what I mean? It feels like, oh, it's in a pan. There's not a whole lot of like, it's not throwing itself a parade in terms of its packaging. It doesn't sensationalize itself, you know? But working with these Depixum pigments, I'm like very aware, very acutely aware of actually how much work it is to like really finesse a shade and really finesse a formula. You gotta really, really know what you're doing, and you have to know what you want. Because you could just, that is a frustrating process, sitting there trying to like mix shades like that and then try and get a formula right. God, it's frustrating. All right, I'm gonna pull out Kiss of Pink. Kiss of Rose is gonna be the like deepest one. I do really like it, but it's almost the color that I have on my eyes right now. By the way, that blue is still peeking through because it's stuck in between my eyelashes. So I'm very sorry to all of my earth signs. Wow, that's gonna be so pretty. And I am not going to this on, I don't think. I think I'm gonna do this with something that's a little bit more controlled, like this. This is the Angie Hot and Flashy A507, and I'm just gonna use that to tap. Because I want it concentrated. I don't really want it everywhere. I don't have a ton of complexion product on, and so I don't have a lot of brightening or coverage counterbalancing a blush application, and so it could very easily just completely monopolize my complexion, and I could just end up with like pink face, which is a syndrome that I've come down with more times than I'd like to admit. Pink face. I want to put some of this in my my eyeshadow look too. I think it's like the perfect in-between color that'll pull it together. These are not aggressively pigmented. Like, if there's anything that I would warn against with the bronzers, it's like, approach with caution. They can get out of hand pretty quickly. They're not a Pat McGrath Divine Blush in the sense of like, just wash and wash and wash and just like, you know, get carried away, because if you get carried away, it's gonna look like you got carried away. And that's why I'm working with this shade. Kiss of Copper is a little bit too orange for this, a little bit too peach. And Kiss of Rose is so beautiful, but again, it's like, it's a main character on me. It's really, you know, intended for slightly deeper skin. And so it can get carried away real fast. What? Yes, I only have one look. So? All right, something else that does not get enough airtime for me is this little colorful eyeshadow Ombre Au Paupières and Crayon shadow liner from Sephora. This is the one that you guys saw in my video with Ingrid. She also bought it in taupe. This just happens to be the purple one, and wow, is it such a pretty color. So it is technically an eyeshadow and an eyeliner. I use it as an eyeliner, and I'm gonna see if I can cover up that blue in my eyelashes with it. Probably not. That is, wow, wow. Ingrid does not steer me wrong. We both love the same kind of mucky colors, and that formula is awesome. So I'm just gonna do what I always do. Brows, mascara. We'll come back and we'll talk about lips. Like, I feel like I've already given you guys this eye look. Not to say that every single time I get on camera I need to do something entirely different and like blow your minds, but at the same time, this is feeling pretty like straight down the middle of what you would have expected from me. And I remember that I have not yet really put this to use, especially like on my channel, and this is the Pat McGrath Intensifies Artistry Wand, and it's supposed to why did I swatch that? It's clear. It's supposed to intensifies the eyeshadow that you apply on top of it. So it's like if I do this and then I can kind of color in a spot, right? And it's gonna apparently, why can't I make words? It's gonna apparently help something be more intense that I put on top of it. I'm going to put this here. Oh my, it's just kind of pulling it back off, isn't it? I like the little shape of it. It's like this funky little triangle. It fits quite nicely into a specific spot, you know? I pulled a bunch of the shadow off. I want to take his face off. Do we intensifies it? I think we intensifies it with the same color so that we can really see if it makes a difference. Yeah, yep, it does. It intensifies it. Ew. Pat. Pat to the rescue. And I can tell that it wouldn't be the same as me just putting it on top of what I'd already done, because I can see like the edge of where I just applied the intensifier. Just gonna keep massacring that name. Yeah, you can see where I applied the actual product and put the shadow on top. That is neat. Let's do it underneath too. Oh, I'm getting carried away. That's okay. I don't put any mascara or liner on my lower lash line, so I feel like it's a pretty safe experiment. maybe doing the first time on camera. That's pretty wild, guys. It's not gripping my brush or something like that. Like, don't worry about that. It's not like resisting blending or something. It's just a very targeted primer that also, I don't know, it just happens to like make the product glisten a little bit more. I like it. I mean, I've been getting complaints, honestly, lately that I'm not delivering on my blush queenness. And I feel maybe like we need to pull out the nuclear option. The nuclear option being Kiss of Rose, because she's crazy, okay? She didn't come to play. I don't know, is that too copper almost? Huh. Interesante. I feel like it needs to be a little more in this family. Oh, the plot doth thicken, don't she? So this is the Cheek Pop in Heather Pop from Clinique. Another example of something that you guys taught me I was just using the wrong brush with. Oh, I need contour too. Let's grab my Natasha Denona contour, because I would do the Salt New York, but like I already have so much powder on that I feel like that would be tempting fate. So this is the Natasha Denona Contour Sculpting Powder in the shade 01 Light, and it's just quite excellent. Maybe I'll feel better when I get my lips on. Or maybe this is going to blow everything up. I have no idea. It might go poorly. Like I said, I have not done this face of makeup all together yet, but this is such a good formula. And I gave one of these to Ingrid for her birthday. I forget what shade it was, but it's like a deeper, cooler version of this that came out a little bit more recently. But this is Sway, one of the original Victoria Beckham Posh lipsticks. And it's just like the best. Like, it's honestly, it's like a Divine Rose color, right? Pat McGrath Divine Rose, or a Venetian Rose, or I don't know, something like that, where it's just like pink that leans ever so slightly violet, and it's gorgeous. And it might be way too much for this look. Oh, we're here. I love this teeny tiny tube. Slides on, it's just so pretty. Whoa. We were all thinking it, so I said it. Whoa. Beautiful color though. I wish her colors were this good in her blush, because her blush colors were pretty boring, honestly. And then I actually did also pull out this Givenchy lip gloss that I have like never used on camera. I'm not wiping this lipstick off. The plan was to then put this kind of more peachy nude shade. This is the La Rose Perfecto Liquid Balm. The shade is just 17, and the whole concept as I was pulling these things out of my drawer was to put this on top. So I'm not abandoning hope on Sway. The Givenchy scent bothers me the least out of the luxury scents. The Chanel or the Gucci or the Guerlain. I would say Guerlain is the one that probably is like the worst, and then Gucci, and then Chanel, and then this is like almost just kind of vanilla-y. It's nice. And it's kind of a liquid lip balm. It's a little thicker, but it still has that slip to it. Oh yeah, it's a little bit plumping. I was like starting to feel this like minty sensation. I'm like, what's happening? Do you like my hat? Do I like this? I can't be sure. You know what? It'll do. I'm gonna move you guys out, and we're going to chat about all my final thoughts on these products. Maybe that'll help solve something. I don't know. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It is a mood. I'm not sure it is the mood. It is a vibe. I'm not sure it's the vibe, but it's okay, because I really feel like it showcases all of these products that I really love. Does it matter that they don't necessarily all cram together into the perfect face of makeup? Absolutely not. So let's just run down the list here. Complexion Rescue from Bare Minerals. I still love it. I still love it. You guys saw why. I could have just left that. It could have been the only thing that I put on today, and I was like, yucky, that was the get ready with me, have a nice day, because it's almost not even makeup. If I had a teenager who wanted to wear makeup, I would be like, this is where you start. You know, let's go get your shade match, because it's just very, very low key and easy and wonderful. I like it so much. And even though I ended up with something that is a little bit more dramatic, one might say, I still feel like it was a good choice for my base because, you know, I like when my freckles show through. And it still behaves like makeup. It's not like this slippy, slidey sort of like oil or something. I need to keep this out. This is so pretty. I had such a good time putting this on. The Thrive stuff is all very nostalgic to me. When I put it on, it always makes me feel the same way. Like, wow, that is just a really, really good foundational piece of makeup. There's something about their formulas, there's something about their color choices and their packaging and everything that feels very timeless. I feel like it kind of falls into the beautifully boring category that I always talk about, where it's like, maybe I only talk about it to myself inside my head, but like Bare Minerals makes beautifully boring makeup. Like there are entire brands to me that are like that, Bare Minerals being one of them and Thrive being one of them. It just makes makeup that does nice things on skin. And it's a very almost like branded feeling. Like, you know, when you're working with a Thrive powder, and it does require, like I said, like a touch more finesse when you're putting it on so that you don't put too much on, but it's because it's such a high performing formula. It's kind of worth it to me. Do you know what I mean? Like their eyeshadows, I feel like are a little tougher to blend, but they're waterproof. Like they're going to withstand whatever you put them through. And for that reason, I just enjoy them. I think that they're very good products. Oh, between all the blushes that I put on today, I feel like I have to retrace my steps here. Oh, see, did you see what I just did? I just jumped right over the Sneaky Bomb because she's sneaky. She's so sneaky. Guys, the Sneaky Bomb is awesome, okay? It's this one right here. It's great. You can put it on at any point, and I think that because it's such an undetectable thing on the skin, it's kind of hard to sell the garment because you're like, well, what did it even really do? And it's like, it did everything, but it just doesn't make a big deal out of it, you know? And there's something really incredible about that. I just have to make sure that I keep it top of mind because it's not like anything else. It's kind of like, it's not like anything else. It's kind of like, it makes me feel a lot like this does, where you don't even notice it going on. The Shanta Future Skin Cushion, they're very, very different in formula, but I mean the same vibe in the sense where you don't feel it going on, but you just notice that everything looks improved. That's my kind of makeup, guys. That's my kind of makeup. This wears a little bit more satin and the Sneaky Bomb goes dewy, but still, they both wear like gorgeous, gorgeous skincare. And I love them. Cure-wise, this is just bizarre. Like I said, I think that anybody, bizarre in the best way possible, bizarre is a compliment. I think every skin tone needs a version of Inner Glow for them that's this like weird, cool, shimmery taupe. Like, get on it, Cure-wise, because this is not just a blush, this is something different in a good way. It's a very, very strange color, and I still really like it. The bronzers. Kiss of Rose is actually more peach than I remembered it being. Kiss of Pink is truly, truly lovely. I probably could have gotten away with doing just that. In fact, let's go ahead and swatch the Clinique ones that I have against the bronzers. All right, so that is Heather Pop? No, yes, Heather Pop, Garnet Pop, Kiss of Pink, Kiss of Rose, Kiss of Copper. And I think that that's very important. This is an important milestone in swatching history, just to show how bronze the bronzers are, and then you can get a more light-handed, more of a wash of color from the formula from Clinique, but in a very, very similar texture. So it kind of broadens your options if you like the bronzer formula. That MAC Fix Plus just pulled it all together, didn't it? It melted everything, and now it looks so much more unified. Okay, so something that I hadn't talked about yet was this, the Pat McGrath Intensifies Artistry wand. It works. It works and it's easy. It does pick, I mean, you would imagine that it would. It picks up a little bit of your eyeshadow because it's sticky. It wants that eyeshadow, but I feel like it doesn't really matter. It's a negligible amount, and it really, really does the job of making it stick and like glisten more, and probably make it wear longer. And I found it easy to put on pretty much every part of my eye. This is gorgeous. As you can see, this is the Pewdiepie Eye Palette. As you can see, it is not backing away from pigment. It's going to show up on so many skin tones, really any skin tone. Mine being so light that like I probably could have gone in with a much lighter hand with this and ended up with something that was a little bit more flattering because it's a little bit extreme. Like I'm getting sort of just like a smudgy socket thing going on. Don't gift that. I do feel like I could have finessed it a little bit better and probably ended up, I need more experience with the palette itself. I'm not afraid of things that are really, really saturated like this, but like, do I think I sold the garment today? No. I do not. And I don't know why. I can't really put my finger on why. It just kind of looks smudgy. I figured it out. Sorry, this is future khaki. I had a bunch of fallout underneath my eyes and it took me getting really, really close to my mirror to see it. And I fixed it. I used some of the Bare Minerals concealer and I just, right there, because it was just like a ton of like all of that shimmery stuff that I had packed onto my eyes. I'm sure you could see it in 4K, but my eyesight's not 4K, unfortunately. So yeah, now I feel like I look like me. That's better. Okay, back to me. So other than that, the Victoria Beckham lipstick is actually so much more pigmented and so much shinier than I remember. Oh, it's so pretty. Like, I really want to use it more. It reminds me of the Pewdiepie Ultra Shiny lipsticks. And then also, I want to say that some of the formulas of the House of Sillage are that shiny, but like, I love a really, really shiny lipstick. You know, it makes me want to just start over and do a whole look around just this lipstick because it's just a banger. Really, really lovely formula. And she came out with so many shades. There are a ton of really great, very nuanced shades. Like I said, I really wish that she would just translate that sense of color theory over to her blush sticks. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. This is lovely. I like it a lot. I feel like it's a thicker, more long wearing kind of liquid lip balm, quote unquote. That would be one of my biggest, or maybe only complaints, even with something like the Fit Glow, which sort of is, you know, credited with being kind of the founder of a formula that has that really lovely slip without being too sticky. This is a little bit glossier, but you can still kind of detect that little bit of like liquid lip balm slip to it. But even the Fit Glow ones don't wear for very long. It's not that they don't wear for any time, but like when people talk about using the overnight one, I'm like, guys, let's not blow this out of proportion. It's a lip gloss. You know, it's a nice lip gloss, but it's not an overnight lip treatment. Not for me anyway. It doesn't last long enough for that. And I feel like this at least is longer wearing. Not that I'm going to wear it overnight, but it's longer wearing for like having color on your lips and stuff like that because it's a little thicker. It commits, and I kind of like that. So also I could probably go for like a clear on my lips. What if we just like only do the Givenchy using some Sneaky Balm so that I don't end up looking like, you know, a kid who just ate a popsicle. She gets a little thicker. It like needs to warm up on your lips. And now it pulls out the bronzer shade on my face instead of the blush. Throwing on a little liner just because I feel like my lip line got lost. I kind of like that better. What do you guys think? And at least now you get to see the Givenchy on its own. Again, that's the shade 17. Yeah, and it is a little bit plumping. I really like it. I really like the Givenchy liquid lip balm formula. And I don't think it's, I mean, obviously it's not as expensive as Tom Ford, but I don't think it's like crazy. It's really nice. And the packaging is so unnecessarily lovely. Like this is kind of a leather finish. It's like soft to touch, like a true accessory. And as usual, not even that it was included in this collection, but you know, the winner of the day is MAC Fix Plus for telling all of these different disparate textures on my face to kumbaya together at the very end. I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, I still can't put my finger on exactly what I feel like is like lost in this. Maybe it's just the contrast of something under my eyes, but I'm getting used to it. I'm just getting used to seeing myself in different faces of makeup and still feeling beautiful, and like that's the fun of makeup. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this, shopping my stash with me, getting to revisit some favorites that are definitely not new in most cases, and things that just are winners in my heart that I haven't really gotten a chance to demonstrate to my satisfaction for you guys in videos. So if you did like it, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope you'll stay. If you haven't already subscribed, if you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would absolutely love it if you did. I would appreciate it so much. And I love you guys so much. I really, really do. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!